What is up, you guys? I am back with another LEGO review, and this is a big one. It is Spider-Man in Oscorp, another mini modular set in our Spider-Man review series, and this is the third out of five Marvel modulars that I'm reviewing, and this is the biggest of the bunch, and it gets you the most stuff. It gets you a jewelry store, another apartment, an Oscorp tower, a mini mart, and a corner piece, which you can see over there. And this set retailed for, I think, $110 or $120, around there. And it came out August of last year, so that's August of 2025. And yeah, I don't know if it's priced that well. You do get a lot for $110, but I don't know. A lot of reused figures and stuff. Well, why don't you guys take a look at my review and decide if this set is really worth it or not for you? And without a further ado, let's get into the review. Might as well start with the biggest of the buildings first, and this is Oscorp, the main draw of this set, since we have never gotten an Oscorp before this one, which I think this one is a pretty great build. You have this sign for Green Goblin Override, which is a sticker here. You have nice window elements, and this giant Oscorp sticker, which is tough to put on, but if you line it up right, it looks good. And then at the bottom you have this sliding glass door here, which works pretty good. All these window elements, which work to show you what's inside, which we'll get to in a minute. And you have this Technic piece, which you can put figures out there. And you have this web piece, which you can see up here is a Technic piece that moves the web back and forth, which so you can take Spider-Man or any of the Spider heroes and swing them just like that, which I think is an amazing play feature, and glad LEGO thought of that, because it does work really well, and kind of reminds me of LEGO Marvel Superheroes swinging around with Spider-Man back in the good old days. But nonetheless, we'll take a look at the interior. On the side you have this nice sticker here, and then turning it around you have this beautiful designed interior that we'll take a look at. So starting up top, you have a computer and a paper here, which is a newspaper from the Daily Bugle. And then you have this satellite here, which I guess you could say. And it moves this piece down here, which you can change Norman from Norman to Green Goblin. So after you take your Norman figure in there, you put him there and you spin it, and he transforms into the Green Goblin, which isn't accurate because this goblin is actually Harry Osborn, not Norman, but still a great play feature. Moving down to the second floor, we got more of these goblin pumpkin bombs that I showed in my other review. Go check that out now. This glider, which you can take off that stand. A samples over here of like chemicals and stuff. And then going down, you have a like little lab area with a syringe in the cabinet, and you have a spider with a molecule here, and then you have a nice sticker element back there, and then you got the symbiote, which is pretty neat. And going down, we have a little office area, which you can put a figure behind there, just like this. Pretty tight squeeze, but he still fits. Got the LEGO Marvel fire extinguisher, common in most every Marvel set. And yeah, that is basically the tower interior, and we'll take a look at the next building. Next we have Miles's apartment, technically you could say, and the jewelry store, which if you take a look at the front, you can see the great pieces used again, typical with the mini modulars. You have a nice sign here and a 1964 referencing the comics. In the door you can just open like this. And then down here you have broken glass, which you might be like, well, what's that for? Well, if you see this Technic pin on the side, you can push it and it breaks open the vault. You can see that Technic piece that pushes the door, and it just goes back in like that. And yeah, I think that's a really good play feature. You have this, which is a newspaper again. You can see that. It says, "Who is Spider-Man? Who knows?" And you just got all these like clip pieces, which you could clip figures on if you want, which is pretty nice detail. And then spinning it around and looking at the back, you have a nice jewelry store down here, which you have a jewel right here, broken glass here, the Technic pin from the play feature we looked at a minute ago, a register, and a $100 bill right here, which you can have Craven steal. And yeah, not a very detailed interior. It does get the job done. You could put a figure in here. That's actually the Miles from the bodega, just had that line around, so I used it. And yeah, that's basically the jewelry store. Not much going on down there, and we'll take a look at Miles's apartment. Taking a look at Miles's apartment, you can see he's up to his spray painting again. You got all these spray paint bottles, a poster, which I think he designed, and a bed here, and a fan, which is a pretty nice build right there. And then taking the Miles I used earlier, you can put them on the bed like that, and he can lie down, and yeah, pretty neat. You can also put a figure on the roof going up there. And then if you go up further, you have the rooftop, which you have this piece that can come off, and you can see you can put a figure in there just on those studs right there, and you can flick this thing and they will actually drop down in just like that, which is a pretty awesome feature. You can have Gwen coming up from above. I'll show you that again. Maybe. And a pretty neat feature in this set, which I really like. And I think you can even fit the figure. You have to put her hand down, but you can fit her in there with the roof closed, which is another pretty nice detail. And yeah, that is the apartment and jewelry store. So we'll take a look at the mini mart. Taking a look at the mini mart, you can see it's got this printed tile on the front, some nice plants in the window here, another one of those air conditioning units, a security camera for the front of the mini mart, more pins on the side, which I will be showcasing a video on connecting all the modulars once I get them all. Still missing the brand new day set, so video coming soon on connecting them. You can open this door here, which is another clear door, and then you got all these Technic pins on the side. You can put some of those clear pieces there, and then flipping it around, you actually have Venom's apartment, which is pretty neat. And taking a look in there, you can see it's pretty dark, but you can sit a figure right there, which I'll use Miles again. You can sit them on those studs there. and he can be looking at the computer. And then on the computer you can see Venom and Anti-Venom are playing a computer game, which is pretty neat. You have this dartboard with Spider-Man here, the chicken, and then a mouse pad for the computer. And then looking down below, you actually have the mini mart, and on the wall you have some popcorn and something else. A green box, don't know what that's supposed to be. But again, you can take Miles and put him there, and he can work the register or whatever figure you wanted. I wish Miss Chen was here, but you know, R-rated movie, so Lego's not gonna do that. But would have been neat to get her in this set. But nonetheless, that is the mini mart, and we'll take a look at the final build. Next we have the little street side build here. You have this nice traffic light, this pole going all the way up, with a sausage piece used here, which is pretty neat. And then you can look here, it says "No More Spider-Man," referencing Spider-Man 2. And you can see that up close, if my camera would focus. And then you got more Technic pins to connect it. This neat trash can build, which you can move off of there. It actually has a pop can in it, but I put my Technic pieces in there so I know where they're at. Funny enough. And yeah, a pretty bland little street corner, but it does get the job done as acting for a corner for your modular city. Now taking a look at Miles Morales' bike, which again don't know why he needs a bike, but it's a neat build. You have these stud shooters, and then a sticker piece of the Miles Morales suit right there, some white wheels right here, and you can see it rolls pretty smoothly. And then inside you can fit Miles, if I keep dropping them, and you can put them in there. Again, this is the Miles from the bodega, so it's not the one you get in the set, but it still works. And yeah, a pretty simple design, and I kind of do like the build, but again, why does Miles need a bike? So now we shift to looking at the figures, and first we have Spider-Man, the normal one, which we've been getting in so many sets, and yeah, I probably have about 20 of these guys. But anyway, just simple Spider-Man, and I wish he did get the red and blue boots, but they did not include that. So that is Spider-Man, just a simple version we've been getting over and over. Next we have Miles, which again we've gotten in a lot of sets, but then again he does not have the boot printing that he does in multiple sets, which I dislike again, which it is $100 set. I don't know why you can include boot printing, but nonetheless, this is Miles, and he's got this hood printing, and you can take that off. Back printing and front printing, but same figure we've been getting once again. And what do you know, another repeat figure. This is Spider-Woman, and just again another reuse figure, which I do like this figure, but I think there is a set she comes with boot printing, and that would be way better. I gave her this web piece, which you can hook to the buildings, and you can web up a bad guy with it, but nonetheless, another same figure. Another reuse figure, we have Spider-Gwen, which is the same as always with the torso and head printing, but yeah, we'll move on to the actually interesting figures. Next we have Norman Osborn, which I do like the figure. None of these pieces are new. It's just reusing multiple different themes and pieces, including Arthur Weasley's head. But I think it looks really good for Norman, so it works well. On the other side you got that angry expression. And then the hair has been used before, and then the torso I've seen on Harry Potter and stuff like that. But a neat figure, even if it's reusing parts. Next we have Green Goblin, since we just took a look at Norman. Although this is not Norman in the suit, this is Harry Osborn. But nonetheless, he's got this really great torso and leg printing and head printing, which I think looks amazing. I think the headpiece is new too. So all around, a really great looking figure here. And I'm glad we got a figure that's actually exclusive to this set, and he looks really good. Next we have Eddie Brock with the Venom symbiote on his back, which I really love this figure. Even though none of the pieces are new, I think this is a Harry Potter torso that appeared on Bucky Barnes the Head, and then just normal pieces. But what's really good is this back piece, which holds the Venom head, which uses a couple connections. And I really love this piece, and maybe we could get some Tom Hardy Venom figures like we got in the Venom bust, but like this, and maybe we'll get some Venom sets. Who knows? Probably not because of the R-rated movies, but who knows? Next we have Kraven the Hunter, and I really do love this figure. He does look good. He has this gem piece and a staff I put in his hand, and this torso is new. It's the first time we've gotten Kraven since like 2015. This fur piece, which has come on him before, and then the head from Doctor Strange. But if you flip it around to the angry expression, I think it does really look like Kraven. And yeah, he does look really good in his return as a figure. And yeah, that is all the figures and the set. So we'll wrap it up, and I'll tell you my final thoughts on whether you should get this set or not. Well guys, that was my review on Spider-Man in Oscorp set that released in August of 2025. Thought we'd review this one again since it, Spider-Man Brand New Day is coming out in about 2 weeks, so thought it'd be good to revisit this set. And a really great set. I don't know about the value and all of that, but really great set to start your mini modulars, and much needed for the modulars. So with that, that is my review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.